were in hospital, and I sat down by the paediatrician and told that my son had some pretty crap diagnoses. So he's declared blind, he has cerebral palsy, hypotonia, epilepsy, which we still don't really have under control, to be honest. He still has daily seizures. What else? Sleep apnea. And then last but not least, he has a life-limiting brain malformation, which is pretty horrible, knowing that your child won't reach to 10. So I received the news from the paediatrician, said thank you, and I carried my son back to his room, and I closed the door, and we danced. And I told him that I was going to help him, and our life may not be what we expect it to be, but we're going to have a ball. Truth be told, I didn't know how to help him. I started contacting the NHS, begging for any physio, and then just discovered how terrible the provision is, particularly in Hastings. So in 12 months, my son has had 4.5 hours worth of physio with the NHS, and that's with me coaching, really, really hounding, desperately trying anything to try and get him to have any kind of help. So then I started researching how else can I help him. And I spoke to lots of parents about what actually genuinely helps kids with these diagnoses versus, honestly, the vast plethora of snake oil salesmen who are out there. If you have a disabled kid, they'll sell you anything because you are desperate. And conductive education kept coming up again and again in terms of therapies that help kids long term. And particularly if you can get early intervention between 0 to 3 years old when your child's brain is still very plastic, then actually the long-term prognosis is slightly better. So I contacted the Dame Children's Charity, and the awesome Carol came round to our house, and she imparted some incredible, worldly wise words of wisdom. And from that point onwards, actually our life got a lot better. So my son is really lucky. He receives weekly therapy here. We have music therapy first of all, which he loves. Then he goes on to conductive education class. We've also been lucky enough to have a bit of baby massage, which honestly I was a bit dubious about it initially, but was a brilliant foundation for helping him to become more aware of his body, because if you think about it, he can't see his limbs, and he can't properly control them. So actually, if we have this really lovely relaxing session of learning where his hands are and where his feet are, then that really helped him with the next stages. And then lastly, we briefly dabbled with swimming as well, which was kind of fun. So since then, my son can do an array of party tricks. It's awesome. So it started with music therapy, where his motivation to hold that xylophone stick is so strong, I can't begin to tell you. And the lovely Kylie is incredibly patient with him. So because Xander has daily seizures, he has forgotten how to hold the xylophone stick. I want to say about 30, 40 times. And every single time he learns how to do it again because he wants to play. And his little friend Annabelle plays with him, and the guys are subjected to their music jamming every single week. And he plays away, he loves it. So his right hand is really brilliant now, his left hand is coming on. Then he's also started to open his hands and to feel the bells, which again is, kids with visual impairment, this is really common. They have their hands in tight fists and touch defensive, because they're scared, they can't see what's out there. Whereas when he knows that there's lovely bells, he starts playing, and then that's being continued into conductive education, where at the end of our sessions he quite often paints, or he feels lovely things like leaves or twigs, and he's starting to make sense of the world through his sense of touch that he just didn't have before we started coming here. Are you falling asleep? You're so boring, Mum, you're so boring. And then final party tricks that I won't bore you with for much longer is the last couple of weeks he has started to weight bear in his arms, which means that he can sit unaided. And that actually is a proper big milestone. Pretty exciting, so incredibly proud of him. And then the smaller milestones that are pretty big for me are conductive education. We've been learning how to get a blanket off his face so that I don't stress out quite as much at night time. If he gets a blanket in his face, it's uncomfortable, he screams, but he doesn't know how to get it off. Whereas, again, with the lovely Kinga's help, we've been helping him to figure out how to get that down. So, in short, I'm not going to bore you with my son's brilliant milestones much longer, but he does have his own Instagram account if you are like team for their incredible help with my child's development, helping me and helping my son more importantly in ways that they can't imagine not having had. He's come on leaps and bounds in the last year. So thank you to the team, and thank you so very much to you as well, because I'm so incredibly grateful. Thanks.
Great.